Greetings, all! Today, we'll be examining the rare Dragon Normal-type Pokemon Cyclizar, the Mount Pokémon. While they might not come off as looking like the most traditional type of dragon, Cyclizar are unique beasts that can more than put their mobile state to good use when you're in need of a fast way to get around.
Cyclizar have dull green, scaly, semi-bipedal bodies with 4 digits on each of the hands and feet, the center 2 on both typically held together for better traction, and further have a dark green scaly underside with a thick segmented tail and a white tip, and dark undersides to their hands and feet. Their neck and the top of their oblong head and crest share the same dark color, with a large throat sac that connects to the upper neck and chest, and they sport a blunt snout with small nostrils, dark green eyes, and pinkish markings on the back sides of their cheeks. Cyclizar are strange dragons that seem to have taken on their current forms as a consequence of artificial selection, and likely have been bred to serve as humans when it comes to mobility and getting from one location to another. Aside from having access to the unique shed tail technique, a trait they share only with Earthworm currently, these beasts are known to be able to take on a different number of forms and limb configurations in order to get from location to location. This includes a base or default state where they walk on all fours, a battle form where they stand on the hind legs to attack others, and a ride form that it takes when another life form is riding on their back, and in this lattermost state, they puff up a throat sac and curl the tail in order to create the illusion of bike tires, though the exact reason for this physical transformation is not currently well understood outside of a shared trait with ancient relatives. Regardless, these creatures can make good use of these different forms to get around and help others do the same, and the relatively mild temperament aids them in being an accessible free source of transportation to those bold enough to actually ride on them. Given that they can sprint at speeds of over 70 miles per hour while they are carrying a passenger, they are clearly more than able to handle the burden, and thus can make great partners for those that are disabled or otherwise have a hard time getting around on their own. It is apparent, however, that these beasts also have a noble history to them among humans, as it is known that these creatures have been aiding humans in their daily operations as far back as 10,000 years ago, and possibly even longer back still, and this poses a unique connection with them and the legendary Pokemon Koraidon and Miraidon. The overall biology of these 3 Pokemon match each other quite strongly, and even appearance alone suggests that there may in fact be a noble connection between the 3, with recent research confirming this as fact. As it turns out, Cyclizar are the modern iteration of Koraidon, and Miraidon serves as a future incarnation of their forms, thus proving that, even if not by evolution, the 3 are linked together as part of a general family group of sorts. However, this poses the question as to why these 2 legendary Pokemon are linked to a creature that is by and large inferior to them in terms of power. As far as human influence is concerned, it can be easy to see Miraidon as a result of humans trying to convert these creatures into stronger tools of war, which makes sense in light of the future Paradox Pokemon known to exist, but the ancestor in Koraidon is a bit harder to explain. It is possible, though, that these weaker variants were bred in order to create a new species that was easier for humans in general to train and domesticate. So while they might not be as strong as either of these legendaries, Cyclizar show the direct influence that human intervention and manipulation can have on a species, and the long-term consequences of said interventions. Regardless, these beasts act like normal reptiles otherwise, being able to use their base shed skin ability to help them grow and shrug off status conditions, though individuals that possess an advanced healing factor to them can also have access to Regenerator as a hidden ability. As far as the overall combat abilities go, these creatures aren't incredibly strong for dragons, but they can still defend themselves offensively decently well, at the very least, and are quite fast, the base attack and special attack stats being above average for a fully evolved normal type Pokemon, and the base speed stat being above average for a fully evolved dragon and normal type Pokemon, so these speedy beasts can at least make some use of themselves in a combat scenario.
These speedy creatures are a ton of fun to both play around with and even ride, though I can't really test that ladder down on my end as I'm a bit too heavy for them. Nonetheless, Cyclizar have been bred to the point of being totally loyal and subservient to those that own them, and in truth, they don't seem to mind this all that much. Their ability to make themselves look like a motorcycle of some sort is really cute and endearing, and really shows a ton of personality to them that I utterly adore. While they might not have a lot of special bells and whistles to them to make them stand out from others, moves like Shed Tail can still prove to be quirky enough to make it worth giving these living transports a try, even if you might otherwise get motion sickness from trying to ride them.
Even if they might not completely measure up to the power possessed by their temporal contemporaries, Cyclizar are still fascinating beasts that can make for a good way to get around if you can't drive a motor vehicle of some sort. They may be rare enough in the wild to make it hard to find them, but they can still be worth the hunt if you feel the need for speed.
Just do yourself a favor, and make sure that you hold on tight if you decide to take one for a spin, as these beasts might readily leave you in the dust once they get enough traction to really blast off across the land.
Thank you all for watching this video. It always brings me great joy to see others enjoying the work I do to try and make the world of Pokemon and the fascinating creatures that lay inside of it feel as real as they possibly can. If you really enjoy my work, please feel free to leave a comment and subscribe, as I always do my best to respond to any and all comments that are left on my videos. In addition, if you wish to learn more about my work and help support it, you can find links to my Patreon page, as well as email and other contact information to my work on DeviantArt in the video description down below. Furthermore, you can find a link to my Discord server there as well if you'd like to get a first glimpse at what videos are coming up next and converse with other fans of the world of Pokemon. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and have a wonderful rest of your day.